Today I wanted to talk to you about doubt because it's something I'm seeing a lot of. It doesn't matter what your goals are. It doesn't matter what you have decided you want in 2025. This could be for people who are in business and they've written their goals down and they know exactly what they want, whether that be a financial goal or whether you've decided actually it isn't a financial goal you're going for, it's something completely different. Maybe it's writing a book, maybe it's speaking on stages, whatever those goals are. Maybe if you're not in business, it could just be, well, actually, it's a career goal. It's something that a new job I want to get or something I want to do, or it might be a health goal. Whatever it is that you're working towards, there will be doubt. It often creeps in. Now, every single person that you have ever known to do something really good that you think is success, I promise you, had doubt of some kind. Now, a lot of the time that doubt could just be fleeting and like, well, I'm going to go for it anyway. Or sometimes the doubt stops people, because the problem with doubt is we know that if you want to do something, whether big or small, if you've got achievements that you want to do, 50% of it or more is believing that you can do it. Because if you don't believe that you can actually achieve something, and I remember when I first started and I just wanted to make like 50k in a launch. I was like, I just want to make 50,000 in a launch. But this little niggle in my head would be like, okay, but you can't. Like, that's not going to happen. There was doubt there all the time. And the problem with that doubt is it meant I then didn't show up. I then didn't do all of the things that I needed to do to actually make the 50,000. Because like entrepreneurship is hard. There's going to be obstacles all the way along, whatever it is you're doing. If we know there's going to be obstacles, we know we can get over everything really. But if you have doubt that it's going to work anyway, you'll not do those obstacles, because it's like, well, what's the point? If I don't believe I'm going to get to this destination, I'm not going to do all these hard things. I'm not going to find a way around things because I don't believe it's going to give me the result that I really want anyway. So that happens a lot. And we know because of so many different people and so many different things, including like the earliest one by Henry Ford. If you think that you can, you can. If you don't think you can, you're right. Because both things are true. Your belief system has so much to do with what you actually achieve. So if we know that our belief system is going to be able to stop us from actually achieving the things that we may have written down in the last couple of days and that we know that we want to go for in 2025, we need to not only have a strategy, but we need to change the belief system. So how do you actually get rid of doubt? There's 3 things that I think are quite powerful when trying to get rid of doubt on the first steps, when you're like, I don't even think I can do that. So the first thing to do, if you have doubts, research. I want you to research people that have already done what you want to do. The reason I say this is because if one person can do something, all of us can do it. There's no difference between us other than our ability to actually try, to actually do something, to actually believe we can do it and put the steps in place to get there. So if one person can build a house from scratch, then another person can, as long as they learn exactly how to do it brick by brick. If one person can make $1 million online, anyone can, as long as they learn exactly how to do it step by step. And it's why I always teach things step by step. If somebody else has done what you want to do, then it means you can do it. Now, when you do this research, one of the things that I found really early on is I would give myself excuses of why that person could do that thing, like have a 50k launch, for example. I even used to do this when I got past the 50k launch stage and I was looking at doing a £3 million launch. I was like, but I can't do a £3 million launch. And then I was like, go back to why you doubt yourself. Go and look at somebody else that's done a £3 million launch. So I found all these people that had done a £3 million launch. And then this next step of doubt crept in, which was, but that's because they are and I'm not. And I'd find stupid reasons like, well, that's because they're a size 6. What's that got to do with launching? That's because they don't have kids, so it's easier for them. That's because they don't have a chronic illness like me. And they're just excuses. So if doubt tells you to go, that's because I'm in a different position, go back out there and find somebody that has done exactly what you want to do with your position. So I then found a load of people that had chronic illnesses that had done £3 million launches. Like, then I couldn't give myself the excuse anymore, and the doubt couldn't creep in, because if one person can do something, another person can also do it. So that's the first thing I would do. Do your research, not to make you feel like, oh my God, they're doing so well and I'm not, but more like to go, well, if they've been able to do it and they're a bit like me, then I can as well. And lots of people use me for this because, you know, I come from a very, very normal background, grew up in poverty, like lots of other people didn't have like, not a brain box, didn't have like really good GCSEs, didn't even do A-levels, all that kind of stuff. So people, when they look at me, go, well, if she can do it, I surely can do it. And they're right, you can. So research is the first thing. The second thing I want you to do is think about things that you didn't think you would be able to do before and write them down and realize that you then achieved them. So one of these for me was, I didn't think I would be able to like successfully be any kind of parent. I didn't think I was made for parenting. It looked too hard. I had no idea what you were supposed to do to keep a baby alive. And then I had two. And I've raised really good kids. So that is something that I did not think I would be able to do. But by learning and reading, I managed to get there, and learning from other people and other parents. So whatever the thing is that you didn't think you could do before, but you've done, it might be as simple as, I never thought I could do a live online, or, well, I never thought I'd even start a business and now I've started one. There's always going to be things in your past that you didn't think you'd be able to do and then you succeeded to do. When you write those things down, it tells your brain subconsciously, hold on a minute, you've had this feeling before and you managed to succeed. So now that you're doing even bigger things and you want to do something else that you think you might not be able to do, it's okay. You can still succeed. And so it will allow you to carry on and try. The third thing I want you to do is to not think too far ahead. So let's say I said, okay, I want to do a £3 million launch, like I wanted to do in 2020. So I want to do a £3 million launch. How can I do that? And it seemed so far off. It seemed like there were so many things that I'd have to do to get there that I almost stopped and just went, well, there's no point. I'm never going to be able to do that. And then I realised that every single step is a step further towards it. So when you write down the things that you're going to need to do between A and B, as long as you do one step, one tiny step every single day, you'll get there. So, you know, it might be, well, I need to start an email list. I'm not going to be able to do a massive launch if I don't have a big email list. So today is the day I start that. So it's just that one foot in front of the other. Don't look at the whole mountain. Look at the next step that you need to take to get to the top of the mountain. And always break things down and always think about things in tiny steps. So it may seem like maybe you have a health issue this year and you're like, I'm going to get to the bottom of this health issue. And this was me last year. And so it was like, okay, that seems like a never-ending task. All right, but we're going to break it down. Stage one for me was research what other people have tried. And that's stage one. So then step one was done, and then I could go on to stage two, which is trying some things. But it's always about step by step by step. The reason we doubt ourselves is because we're looking way too far ahead. Whereas the people that are getting there are just slowly putting one foot in front of the other. My clients who you see that suddenly start making like hundreds and thousands of pounds, they didn't think when they come to me. In fact, most people will tell you this who've worked with me. When they come to me, I say, right, this is what you're going to make this year. And they go, there's no chance. And then they go, I remember saying to Lisa, there was no chance I could do it. And then I got there because I made them do things step by step by step, not all in one go. Because if you think of something as a big thing, it just makes you want to run away and hide. And I get that. So try and break things down. So to get rid of doubt, and remember, you have to get rid of doubt. Doubt is the thing that will stop people achieving whatever goals that they've written down this year the most. And we know that belief is 50% of the journey. If you believe you can do something, you just do. I remember when I was really young, my dad was part of this network marketing scheme. This may explain a lot about why I don't like network marketing and pyramid schemes. It was actually more of a pyramid scheme than network marketing. Called Amway. And he bought me this, it was a tape, a cassette at the time, that I went to sleep with. And all it said on it is, if I think I can, I can. If I think I can, I can. And he'd put it on when I was going to sleep because somebody had told him to. And it works. If you think you can do something, you can do it, and you just go and do it. But if you think you can't, you're not going to. So whatever goals you've written this year, now's the time to start working on the belief that you absolutely will be able to do it. And working on those 3 ways to get rid of doubt. Research people that have done it before in your exact same situation. Write down achievements you have already done that you thought you couldn't do in the past, because it will trick your brain into believing, well, not even trick it, confirm that you can do the things you set out to do. And thirdly, think of things 1 step at a time. That's my piece of advice for today.